Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth Pregame.
Hey, this thing on? Hello, testing.
No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant.
What's up, Twitter world? There's my little OJ.
He's got an autographed OJ photo.
Has anybody heard the story about the Glizzy guy?
He fits today's generation.
Oh yeah, speaking of lady basketball players, Lola Bunny, bonkable. Yes or no?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Korner Booth Pregame. I am, of course, your host, Mr. Jared Clem. Happy scheduled release day to all those who celebrate. It's one of the, at least we're getting there milestones of the NFL offseason. It's also a fun Thursday. We got 2/3 of the Western Eastern Conference Finals. 3/4 of the Eastern Conference West Conference Finals are locked in. My Wolves, of course, advanced last night, so I'm a very happy Timberwolves fan this morning. Stayed up for the whole thing, which I thank God that was the last West Coast game we got to play because those 10 o'clock starts killing me. I will say this though, I'm very happy about that. Knicks stumbled a little bit yesterday. We'll talk about obviously a little NBA as well. We got two good guests today. We are talking. Speaking of basketball, we're returning the Korner Booth Draft today. Special edition. We're picking our best starting five. We're just drafting starting fives. Yes, it's basic. Yes, it's wide sweeping. So one of us might have T-Mac as at the small forward and AI as a shooting guard, as the point guard, with Ray Allen as a shooting guard. Like there's the possibilities that are endless. We're gonna kind of do fantasy edition, so there's gonna be a lot of crazy names thrown out there. But either way, it's gonna be fun. We are also doing the UFL 4-pack draft. That'll be around 8 o'clock Eastern time. We'll pick the UFL games for this week. And yeah, it's going to be a great show. We also are talking NFL schedule release because, I'm so disappointed. My Eagles could have done something besides show the trophy or just those two girls putting cake pops on the top of a cake. It was stupid as hell. But hey, at least, listen, the Colts killed it though. Shout out to DJ. All right. Joining me now, of course, my co-host. I guess he's a coping Knicks fan right now. No Tatum. They still lost. Ladies and gentlemen, Matarazzo.
I guess you could say coping. I guess I'm down in the dumps, but I'm feeling very good for tomorrow night back in Madison Square Garden for obviously a must-win game for both teams, but a game where if the Knicks can have a performance like they did a couple days ago when they were at the Garden, should be a hopefully elimination game for them going in and with the Celtics. So feeling good about it going back to New York. And I mean, honestly, like if they were going to shut them out, I'd rather it be an MSG.
Honestly, I kind of, when the Knicks win MSG, it's just more fun. It just really is. I mean, yeah, it was cool seeing like all the Knicks fans going nuts in the Boston Garden, but I could care. I could really care less. So to me, it kind of just extends the series more. It gives, I guess, Indiana more time. My honest God opinion, as long as the Knicks don't blow this, I think they should be a good series with them in Indiana. I don't know. We'll ask our two guests who are here, see what they think about our Eastern Conference Finals potential matchup based off of what's going on. But joining us now, host of Sideline Summit, a Philadelphia man through and through, and an avid records collector, ladies and gentlemen, our boy Antonio.
How's it going, guys? Nice
How you
to
doing,
be
brother?
back. Doing good, man. Can't complain. Well, I could complain a lot, actually.
I mean, yeah. Hey, at least the Phillies aren't bad, right?
I love the Phillies, don't get me wrong. I don't love them nearly enough for them to get on my bad side. So
yeah.
Okay,
so in order of Philadelphia teams, is it Birds, Sixers, then Phillies?
I'm not a Sixers fan.
Oh, you're not Sixers. Oh, you're Celtics.
Mm-hmm. So I would probably
That's right.
be like
I forgot.
Eagles, Celtics would probably be up here.
Okay.
Probably go Phillies, And the Flyers aren't too far behind.
Okay.
I'm just relatively new to hockey in general. So.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm a Penguins fan. I checked out.
How did the Celtics thing happen?
The Sixers. I don't. I'd like to think I was a pretty intelligent young kid. More so than anything, Paul Pierce and Ray Allen were like my favorite players. So once they teamed up, it was kind of like it was written. Like I was kind of already a Celtics. Like I'm playing 2K. I'm always requesting a trade over there anyway. But once Ray Allen got there, it had to happen. And the Sixers have never done anything to make me root for them, so I chose not to.
Fair,
but like any kid growing up in Southeast PA, I did have a black Allen Iverson jersey. It spawned on. You don't even get like a hospital blanket. They just wrap you in that instead.
That and a green McNabb jersey.
Yes, yeah, I had both. So.
Yep, I had the green McNabb jersey. I had a white one too, but I lost that one somehow.
I got a nice red and white shoe up on my thing, signed by AI. Did you see speaking of AI? Did you see the Bills release schedule video?
I like that one.
I like that one too. I mean, there were some funny ones. The Colts had. I love how Tyreek's like, dude, it didn't bother me whatsoever. But the Colts were like, take it down.
Yeah, but did the Chargers also do a Minecraft release schedule? I mean, like, I feel like teams should discuss this ahead of time.
I mean, it was funny either way. You know, it was going to be a double because Minecraft movies, it's a big talking point so far this spring. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I just was like, the Colts one was so funny. And the league schedules, I feel bad. I honestly feel bad for Giants fans. Sorry, Nate. Y'all schedules, I thought ours is bad. I looked at the Giants like, oh God, that's brutal. Giants might be 2-11 before their bye week.
Yeah,
the Jets sucks up front, but the Jets last like 8 games. There's like potential for like 6 wins right there. It's like it sucks for the first half of the season, but the second half of the season is pretty good.
Also, our boy from Hello Sports, the co-host and still a free agent football fan, I believe, Kelsey Coyne is here. What up, Kels?
What up, guys? Yeah, I've actually got to enjoy all of the schedule releases to all their hilarity and stupidness. Like Dave Portnoy, sorry, that wasn't the greatest. That was rough. Yeah, Cowboys, try again. But the Colts, that was fantastic. I think it was honestly, I had more problem with the Will Levis thing than I had the problem with Tyreek Hill thing. Like that was like, why are you going to kill a man that loves mayo? Killing a man that loves mayo.
Yeah, I know. I mean, listen, I stopped eating mayo when I started trying to get on my weight loss journey, but that's a whole different conversation. Looking spiffy, by the way, brother. Camera's a little wonky, but yeah. All right. We also have our producer, Nate. What's up, Nate?
Hi. Yeah, I don't know. Our schedule sucks.
I don't know.
Yeah, poor Nate.
I got nothing. I got nothing. I really don't.
The schedule sucks. He got locked out of StreamYard, so he can't produce. So
dude, I can't do nothing today, man. I feel useless, man. No, but
okay, brother, enjoy yourself. Relax.
I guess, but to stay positive, I hope you guys are all doing well. Good to see you, Kelsey. Good to see you, Antonio. I hope your Celtics force a game 7 for Matt's. Matt, I'm getting there, Matt. I'm getting there. I hope the Celtics force a game 7, and then we'll see what happens from there. I don't really care. I mean, look, I'm rooting for the Wolves. Edwards knocked down our Heat, killed off another legend again, which is ridiculous.
I mean, did he kill off the legend, or did the legend get killed off by his own hamstring?
Okay, a superstar. My apologies. A superstar. Not
we took out Jimmy, which made a lot of Timberwolves fans happy. I mean, I'm a Jimmy Butler fan because he was right. And I still have Jimmy Butler Air Jordan 6s upstairs, the Timberwolves colorway. Those are clean. I will say, though, my tweet summed it up best. Curry's hammy died. Jimmy Butler tried. Draymond cried. Wolves in 5. Like that. I thought that was the best way to sum up that series.
You say that like the Wolves had this like locked up. Like Ant looked like he was scared that the second half of that series.
He had 20. He had 25 in that second half.
He figured it out, but the dude looked scared through much of the series. Like, come on, like, he didn't look like Ant that we come to. He looked like the Ant I complained about 2 years ago.
Yeah, he also has been that. I don't know the amount of lidocaine he's probably been injected with since game 2. The poor man's ankle's got to be shot today, but he's got a week off, so I don't really care. we listen. They don't ask how, boys. They ask how many. We're advancing. We're moving on. Randall stepped up. McDaniel stepped up. Mike Connolly was unconscious last night. He just kept bombing threes. DiVincenzo had a good start to the game. They listen to the team win. Can't knock it. My favorite commentary today was Jay Williams win at Jimmy Butler. He's like, you only took 11 shots. You're supposed to hold the line until Steph gets back. Listen, Jay, I appreciate the sentiment because I think you're onto something here. But, dude, my boy's hammy. Strained hammies are not a 1 week injury. They're like 3 to 4. And even then, I don't know how. What is Curtis going to be a spot up shooter? Because half of his game is being like kind of quick and shifty, and being able to pop those threes on the run.
Steph Curry could have popped both hamstrings and been out there and still been the Warriors.
And still probably dropped 25.
Still could have gave them more buckets than Pods, Moody. Looney,
no disrespect
Draymond.
to the greatest shooting point guard of all time. But
yeah, it's just especially I thought Jimmy Butler was. I mean, he had that good game 3 it was, where he was really aggressive, and then any other game he just didn't look that same way. And as someone who's watched Jimmy Butler in the playoffs for years, just very uncharacteristic of him. He was being conservative as if Steph was on the court, as if you're deferring shots to a guy like Steph Curry, when in reality you're deferring shots to Brandon Przemski, who was deemed untouchable, by the way, for whatever reason, was deemed untouchable by Warriors front office in a trade for Lauri Markkanen.
They deem
nice.
deem the guys untouchable, and I'm sitting here like as a Kings fan, I wish the Kings would deem anybody untouchable. Anybody at this point would have been great. We wouldn't have lost De'Aaron, we wouldn't have lost Tyrese, but you know what? You lose them both. Now you're stuck with Zach LaVine.
Compton's finest, DeMar DeRozan. I was gonna say Compton's finest.
Don't get mad at DeMar. I'm getting mad at Zach.
Listen, you get mad at DeMar, you might have to talk to some people.
Me and DeMar, man, I'm cool with DeMar. I've always.
You know what the Kings should do? The Kings should get Lonzo. Yeah, get all
what
the
and pay for his hospital bills. What the hell you mean?
Nah, we got some good doctors in California. We'll get the job done.
You know who else could pay him? Any other California
team. Yeah, any other team. Yeah,
I don't think California doctors. I don't think their specialty is athletes, but I'm sure they.
I have too much optimism. Look, man.
At this point in time, just cut him off. Cut off the leg and give him a new one.
Feel like his daddy.
Send him to Germany. Go get that fancy German surgery that Kobe used to do.
Sorry. Listen, LeVar Ball may be the funniest amputee I've ever seen on the internet, so I don't want to hear it. Like, that man is hysterical. Like, the videos since he got his foot amputated have been like, I like cry watching him laughing so hard. Like, the dude's got a comedic talent.
It was Diabetes, wasn't it? That took his foot.
Diabetes.
He's not Southern enough to say diabetes, but
yeah. I know, but that was just a great.
Brimley.
That's a word where you have to say it wrong and you have to say it's Southernish. Diabetes.
Southern-ish. Oh man. One of the other ones I was not a real. I mean, Dallas. You know what? I was gonna say one thing about Dallas is just look kind of lame. The best part of Dallas that came out was CD and Micah talking shit about Quinyon Mitchell after the video. That was I guess the best part of the video was like they were like kind of stoking up the week 1 matchup between Philly and Dallas. That's the only thing I took of knowledge. So I was like, okay, CD's talking smack already, and the season having start. I'm like, okay.
The best part was it ended.
Spoken like a true former Cowboys fan.
It was over.
So, Kelsey, I got to ask, being a former Cowboys fan, does it feel like you're being freed from a cult?
Yeah.
I love it.
I've never been more free in my life. Now, until I think about the fact of me ever becoming a Eagles fan, in which case I do come back to the whole, man, I don't really want to join a brotherhood either because that's a cult. But
hey, listen,
I don't want to join the Jets either because that's a cult of misery. So,
I mean, it depends how you look at it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be a Chiefs bandwagoner either. Like, I saw a dude get a Cowboys tattoo on his back covered up with a giant Chiefs tattoo, and it was a garbage tattoo, first of all. Second of all, it was a Chiefs tattoo, and I'm like, that guy.
Oof, a cheese too.
Bandwagon. Maybe I'll be a fan of cleats and khakis.
Ooh, we all Chargers fan?
Be the one Chargers fan. The NFL will probably put you in for fan of the year. You're the only one who's on record.
Just single-handedly, I'd fill more of that stadium by myself than anybody else, all the rest of their fans combined.
I can't tell. I feel like it's just a population joke.
Yes, it's a yes joke. It's more of a fat joke than anything, but it's a yes joke.
Not to ruin your decision, but wouldn't you just be kind of like trading Dak for a West Coast Dak?
Yeah, but I get a better color scheme.
True.
That's fair. That is fair.
You get to rock like an LT throwback jersey and not be ironic about it.
Yeah. I can get an Antonio Gates jersey too.
Ooh, that baby blue and yellow is beautiful. I do understand that.
Yeah. I also like Justin Herbert. He's not that bad. Dak is.
I love Justin Herbert. I just think the problem is he shrinks in the playoffs. His decision making gets a little dicey. But then you'd also blame that someone on coaching and offensive play calling and lack of weapons. But I think it's some of it.
Do something other than run the ball occasionally, right?
I know. I just think at some point the buck does have to stop somewhere with Justin Herbert. This is why I've gotten in screaming matches with a guy in our friend group who literally thinks Justin Herbert is the greatest quarterback to ever walk the earth. He's also a Cowboys fan, which I don't know how that one works, but
it's not me. It's not me, by the way.
No, it's not you. It's not you. It's not you.
It's a buddy of mine.
It's a buddy of mine from back home in Southbury, Connecticut. Yeah. I've known him. He's probably actually, geez, he might be my oldest friend. Oh, that's unfortunate. But he's
I thought I was your oldest friend.
Dude, I've only known you
for 3 joke. That was an age joke, not a.
No, my oldest friend's about to turn. Actually, no, my oldest friend is I think 42 now.
Nah, never mind. He's my man.
Seasoned.
Yeah, and then Matt knows one of the other ones. He just turned 39.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got some older friends. When I worked in the insurance industry, I made a lot of friends that were age groups were definitely different.
Yeah.
But
sipping some Cosmos with some 65-year-olds to sell them some life insurance plan they don't need.
You got it. Dude, during a job interview, I had like the vice director of like digital sales for North America asking me about my time at New York Life. I was just like, I don't want to take up your entire interview how useless life insurance is. And the girl started just dying. She's like, I'm like, but it's basically a cult. They're well-meaning people, but insurance sales are a cult.
It is a multi-level marketing scheme.
It is no, I think it's both. I think it's both multi-level and it's a cult because it's just brutal.
We did pep calls when I sold life insurance. Like
who'd you work for?
Like morning with Globe Life.
Okay, I did New York.
It was we went by the subsidiary name before it became fully Globe Life, but Liberty National was the subsidiary. But okay. Yeah, and it was one of those like you did pep calls. Literally, they're called a pep call. So you call somebody and they try to pep you up for getting told no by 74 grandmas and having to go sit down on a couch that was covered in mold. Like, I don't want to be here doing this. You don't want to be doing this pep call. Well, actually, the person that did it actually was that kind of peppy. But yeah, that was wild. Real cool.
You know what? I've told this to all my friends who I ever reached out to for a fact finder interview. I apologized profusely and said, listen, you guys are my excuse to go take you out for a beer, say 3 sentences about life insurance, and then pretend to call you for the next month and thinking, why can't I get this to go through? And then when my bosses would sit there, I'd be like, as a 22-year-old who just didn't want to do any work like that, I'd be like, hey, man, remember that policy we talked about? Yeah, that one. Click. And I'd be like, oh, I guess he hung up on me.
I used to work in sales for a gym doing memberships, and I called this lady, and she accused me of almost causing her to have an accident because I called her. And I'm like, well, ma'am, I wasn't the one that forced you to pick the phone up while you were driving. That was kind of your decision. But you can't say that because all the calls are monitored, and then I would get in trouble for telling this lady you actually almost killed yourself. But that's just that's a very diet version of some of the stuff that I probably went through.
You could say that. You just wouldn't have a job afterwards.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you don't work there anymore, so wouldn't have been the worst idea to have.
But he still works out there.
I don't care about that. I'm not at that same location. I don't care about that. What are they going to do? They get my money every month, so they don't care. But it was just funny back in that time. I was like, ma'am, Oh, you did make the decision to answer the phone call while you were driving. I wouldn't say it's very responsible. The amount of things. I think some lady, we once called her just to confirm her appointment to come visit the gym, and she flipped out on me and was like, I'm not coming anymore, because I'm like, oh, sorry for confirming. You weren't coming anyway, I guess.
Jesus. I was gonna say before we go back, we start talking a little NBA ball. I would say I think I had a sales call once where the guy screamed at me asking how I got his number. And I can't say, oh yeah, no, my manager just handed me this call sheet with your information on it. Like, I don't, what am I supposed, I made up some excuse that you checked off some box and some random email a month ago. I was just like, I don't know what to tell this guy right now. I don't want to tell him we basically bought these leads that were kind of sketchy.
Yeah, we would, whenever you visited our website, we would just get your information and I would just call you right away and they'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird. I'm like, yeah, well, it's just kind of like, I have to do this. So, you want to come in? You know?
Yeah, they don't even get through the cart process. They're like halfway through the cart process. Haven't even stalled. They're like literally probably looking for their credit card, and they're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Here, heard you're thinking about joining the Edge.
My answer was always, "I got it from a colleague. They were concerned about whether or not you had a life insurance policy."
I tried that excuse once, and the guy goes, "Tell me who it is, because I'm going to kill them." Not figuratively going to kill them, but he was like, I'm going to make this guy's life hell for you.
Well, it's a good thing for you. He has life insurance policy now. So,
all right, we got to talk some NBA ball. So obviously last night, Antonio Celtics put a ass whooping on Matt's Knicks. I don't even want to address the elephant in the room with what Emmanuel Acho said about how the Celtics are now a better team without Jason Tatum. And Kevin Durant called him out for being a hot take artist, because that's what Emmanuel Acho is. It's kind of like, no shit. But last night, this is a quote from one of our former co-hosts of the show, Pat Donahue, said, I'm just seeing three white boys raining threes from behind the arc, and I don't know what to do right now. And I said, you know what? And he goes, who's this Peyton Pritchard guy? I'm like, from Oregon guard. Can knock him down from three. And I'm laughing, hearing a Boston guy who's like a kind of a Celtics fan, he's more Sox and Patriots. Just watch this, and I'm just dying hearing the commentary. I watched the entire game. It looked like, and Matt, you might be able to correct us on this. Nate, Antonio, Kelsey, feel free to shoot this down. It almost looked like to me, New York thought Boston was going to come in and basically do what Golden State did last night and almost half roll over. And I think Boston came in ready to swing a punch, and New York got caught with their pants down. Am I off base on that from what I saw last night?
I mean, I think
entirely off base. No.
Yeah, I think as a Knicks fan, or I think the team probably thought there was going to be a little less fight going into this without their star player, being able to play for that team. My thing is that Derek White has continued to be a problem for the Knicks this entire series, and he just put up 34 points. And when you got Jalen Brunson putting up 22, you're not going to win that. You're not going to win the game. So I'm hoping Knicks play better once they get home. But yeah, I don't think they expected the fight that they got without Tatum in that lineup.
Yeah, as much as I would even say, obviously a basketball game is 4 quarters, but if you stopped all of these games just 3 quarters, it would look like the Knicks have laid down every single game for them. So it was more of like a matter of, how resilient will they be through, the 4th quarter. Obviously, they lost Brunson pretty early in the 4th quarter due to foul trouble. But I think overall, the Celtics, the only difference between these games and the other games is having a consistent, ball movement in the 4th quarter. And that's not necessarily to say Tatum. What I put this out on Twitter because this is how I feel like it makes the most sense. Jason Tatum and Kristaps Tatum tearing his Achilles and Kristaps being pulled from the lineup simultaneously won't let people see why the ball is actually moving now. Because if Jason Tatum's in the game, the ball moves. He's one of, if not the best playmaking wing not named LeBron James in the NBA. But the reason it moves so much more is just Kristaps is out the game. He's not even averaging an assist a game these playoffs. He gets the ball in the post. A shot is going up. He's not passing it. With him out of the game, you got Kornet, who's a much better pure roller. them Porzingis, Jaylen Brown. It sucked. If that was the first Celtics game you've ever watched, yeah, maybe you would take away that Jaylen Brown's better than Jason Tatum. I would stamp it. That's the best game I've ever seen Jaylen Brown play. All things considered. Defense was outstanding. Easily the best he's been all series. Shot making was on point, how it should be. Hasn't been there all series, but it was there last night. And 12 assists is a playoff career high. I couldn't be more proud of him. So matter of hitting shots. And then when I visited the Garden, the TD Garden, not to get the Gardens confused, they were handing out these posters. This is Derek Walter White. Quote, thanking Brad. And then, of course, the classic Pritch Please on the back. Both of these guys have been outstanding. Yeah, so I guess we'll have to see how the because pressure's back on the Knicks. I'm afraid. So
Knicks got to close it tomorrow, or else we really got a problem for Game 7.
If it goes back to Boston, it's I would practice.
Oh, it's a wrap. I honestly would pick. I'm picking Boston at that point.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, and this is being a Timberwolves fan, I have witnessed a certain player in the Knicks roster underperform in certain situations in the postseason. That certain player goes on the Rich Eisen show a lot. He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan, has some zesty moments on camera, and wears number 32 for the New York Knicks. I watched, and it looked like last postseason, the postseason before, is Karl-Anthony Towns yesterday, where it looked like he just missing shots were getting blocked. He was complaining about fouls. I didn't see the cat I saw for most of the postseason where I'm like, oh, this is the all-star cat. This is the revitalized Karl-Anthony Towns that I'm like, I'm really happy for him. Happy he's succeeding in New York. Because I genuinely am. I wanted him to succeed there. He's from the area. I like the Knicks. I would love them to be good. So take a guy who I no longer want on my roster. I want the Pitbull equivalent of him that we got playing for us now, who had 30 points last night. But with Cat, I didn't see the same effectiveness from him last night. And I think if he's not effective, it's another knockoff to the detriment of the Knicks. So I don't know, like DJ's on point here. Like that.
You can't spell Luke Cornett's name right, but yeah. Give that man some respect.
But like,
no, look, let's pause for a second and just recognize the fact that everybody's blowing this out of the water, that Jason Tatum's not there, and it's like this shock that the Celtics are good. That roster is fantastic. From top to bottom. When they finished the season last year and they lifted the title, we're like, yeah, they're running it back. They're the consensus favorite to get back to the NBA Finals this year. Let's not kid ourselves and think that's all Jason Tatum, because guess who didn't perform last year in the playoffs? Jason Tatum. Guess who did? JB.
And Derek White and Drew Holiday.
No, look, Derek White.
I'm stepping into this because Jason Tatum was one of 6 players to ever lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks for an entire run.
For an entire run, yes.
For an entire
but in a do-or-die situation in the last year's playoffs, if it's not for JB, Celtics don't make it to the finals.
Jason Tatum outscored, out-rebound, out-assisted him in the finals and capped off the finals with a 30, 11, and 8 game. The only thing that got Jaylen Brown the finals MVP was playing above expectation, but he didn't necessarily play well anyway. 20 points on 52% true shooting, if I remember correctly.
If we go by points, you're absolutely right.
We're going all around points guy, it's not even close.
But JB's not a points guy. He's never been that.
Jaylen Brown is only a points guy. He's never been an on-ball defense and points per game guy.
You're right. He's on-ball defense, which he locked down in the finals last year. He had the highest plus-minus of anybody on the court, which is a defensive and offensive stat. And that tells me everything I needed to know about last year's playoff run. That doesn't happen if it's not from JB.
If Jason Tatum doesn't defend the lob threats on the Mavericks, none of what he's doing up top with Luka even matters. But Tatum's ability to play help defense.
That's what they were killing the Timberwolves in the West last year.
Exactly.
But you're still okay. Fine, except that doesn't take away the fact this roster is still a plus roster without Jason Tatum.
So absolutely.
I think every person that's sitting here is shocked that they beat the Knicks. This Knicks team, who Jalen Brunson goes out in the fourth quarter, they lose their number 1 assist guy, who, by the way, had been scoring an average of 30-plus points in this series for the wins, like combine him and Cat have 41 points. Jalen had more points than that in the last win, and they needed every single bucket to get there. Like, you can't sit here and look at this and think, hey, Jalen Brunson's carrying this team or Cat's carrying this team and it's going to work without Jason Tatum on the other side. Because if they both don't score 30, there's nobody else on that team that's good enough to stand up to literally these 7 guys for the Celtics still healthy that can still be a number 1 in any other team. Like Peyton Pritchard off the bench? Come on, that's a joke. Like, that dude should be starting somewhere else.
So a little bit of a thing here. I'm going to summarize this in one thing. To quote Uncle Drew, the whole point of the game is to get buckets, right? And we talked about this during the Timberwolves-Lakers series, where I had to hear the entire time about how who's going to guard Reeves, who's going to guard Luka, who's going to guard. Dude, who's going to guard the 14 guys in Minnesota who can all drop 10-plus points? And it's the same thing at a larger scale, at a better scale with Boston. The issue is people got too caught up in all this stuff. But I can name, like you said, Kelsey, I can name 2 guys in that roster in New York who can drop 20-plus points.
No, I mean, Mikal Bridges can do it too.
Consistently, though.
But his shot looks like a joke this year. He went the Markelle Fultz role with his shot.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, who are you, like, when you look at Boston, you have 4 or 5 guys who can go off and dominate a game. New York has 2.
Josh Hart can also dominate a game, surprisingly.
Oh, wow, foot cramp.
Josh Hart's the definition of empty baskets. That's why I said if we go by points, like, that looks like a joke when Josh Hart is a leading scorer in any game.
We are so consumed, I think, by like these, like trying to look at overly at these narratives, how teams are. It's like at the end of the day, who's got more guys who could drop buckets? Because everyone's going to try to play defense, or apparently except Luka, according to Nico Harrison. And everyone's, I mean, yeah, but anyway, everyone's going to try to attempt to play defense. Everyone's going to attempt to pass the ball, move the ball, whatever. At the end of the day, how many guys do you have when they take away your Ant or your Brunson or your Jason Tatum, whether it be the injury or whatever, that can drop 25, 30 and can get you over the hump when your number 1 guy's getting double teamed or is injured. So I think this is why people need to stop acting so like looking for the hot take here. Boston still has the best roster in basketball. With Tatum, yes. Without Tatum, they're still probably a top 5 seed in the East. So we all got to kind of just pump the brakes a little bit because I kind of fell victim to this too. But my only thought was, oh, Boston's going to be so woe is me. But I was very impressed how they got up and slugged New York right in the jaw in Game 5. So you know what? At that point, I'm okay. I'm like, listen, y'all earn my respect back instantly. Because, yeah, it sucks losing a generational talent in Tatum. Do I think he's corny as hell? Yes. But do I respect his game as a top 5 player in the league? Also, yes. So it comes down to this whole thing of like, at the end of the day, it's about who scores more points than the other. And the Celtics had more guys, more artillery, and they were able to score. And it looked like last night the Knicks looked lost, and they looked like they were staggering. They were like, wait, I thought this was going to be an easy win. But we got to get on because there's another game.
Well, hold on. Can we go back just real quick and just throw this out there, get off the players for a second, because this is the real point I was trying to get to, which is coaching freaking matters. And you see it every day with the Boston Celtics that coaching matters. GMs, front offices matter. Look at this team and tell me they don't have the best front office and best coach in the league, and I'll be shocked if you can come up with a better one right now.
If we had the best coach in the league, we would have benched Kristaps Game 1, and we'd be getting ready for the Pacers.
I see your point.
That's my only. When Joe is on, though, Joe's scheme kind of revolves around hitting the open looks, but
no argument. He's top 3.
But Joe is one of the best.
Here's all of it. There are 5 coaches in the league I can say in end game situations I trust. Joe Mazzulla is one of those 5, and it's because of his, as Antonio just pointed out, that's his game plan that I trust. His game plan is not, I'm going to focus on Jason. His game plan is, I'm going to focus on the open man. If Jason's hot, it's Jason. If it's Derek White, Derek White. And if it's JB, it's JB. If it's Al Horford, it's Al Horford that night. If it's Drew Holiday, who, by the way, let's not forget, Drew Holiday is still one of the best on-ball point guards. Anyways, dude, this Celtics team is a shock. Also, who are the 3 white guys that are raining threes? I'm still questioning this.
Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard, and I don't think Derek White is considered a white guy, but
I was gonna say if Derek White's a white guy, then man,
okay,
call me
listen.
Shaq.
Well, Cornette wasn't hitting threes, but Luke Cornette
Yeah,
easily played like
okay,
one of the
he might
best
have been
games
talking
we've
about
seen from
Cornette
the Celtics
dunking.
big ever.
Okay, this was also like 10:30 at night.
like-
and we had a couple drinks in us while we were watching this game. He said 3 white boys, and I think he meant Pritchard, Cornette, and the other guy that.
To be fair,
yeah.
with the way Pritchard's shooting, he looked like 3 white guys shooting.
All right. So now we got one game tonight, though. Who's going to play Minnesota in the Western Finals?
I say the Thunder.
Yeah.
You
I'm
say the
surprised they
Thunder?
haven't- I mean, yeah, I said the Thunder. I had them originally in 5, and I'm honestly really disappointed they didn't close. The 2 games they gave up were absolute layups. I'm very disappointed they didn't close out those games. But SGA had a really good game in Game 5. I was really happy to see that. And it's kind of just like if he can find a way to be, efficient, other guy, like you're bound to get 2 or 3 guys a night to step up for Oklahoma City. They're just that deep. Denver, their key to success is Jokic being Superman for 47 minutes and 59 seconds, and then Aaron Gordon go hit a game winner. That's kind of just been it. They don't have a for sure recipe of stopping Oklahoma City. At least that's what I've seen. I get different views.
He's exactly right. I think this also is the moment where you see there's no head coach in Denver, and this is why I make the coaching matters situation. There's an interim, and he's fighting for a job, but he hasn't built the same rapport with all these players that a real head coach does. Not that he was not as distant before, but he's not a head coach.
Well,
and you're going to see the gaps of it, the difference between the two here.
As the president and CEO of the Mike Malone Haters Club, I love seeing the Nuggets succeed without him. I could it was the Western semis last year between Minnesota and Denver. I just grew to hate Mike Malone. Anyway, the Thunder, to me, their depth blows my mind, and the way I think Sam Presti's still the GM, right? I'm not losing my mind here. Okay, the way Sam Presti's built this team is incredible. SGA is the best pure scorer and is one of the best pure scorers in the league, if not the best. He's the MVP outright. And I think the issue is, like you said, coaching is going to come down to, we talked about coaching the other series. Coaching just got, obviously Golden State had his hand tied, but coaching helped with Minnesota versus LA. It helped in LA versus Denver. I think the problem is you have depth and coaching and the best player. Nate says Nuggets in 7. I'd love to see the series go 7 because it's just entertainment at that point. But I think they close it tonight. I think this is when SGA takes. I think he has one of those games where it just goes off for 40. Maybe Jalen has a couple of points himself, but it's. I think Denver. The problem is I think Denver's window is starting to shut a little bit, just a little bit. It's still open, but I think it's not like 2 years. Not like 2 years ago when everyone's bowing to the Nuggets when they just steamrolled through everybody. I think Joker's
last time we saw Jamal Murray in a long-term series as well.
Mm-hmm. That was my thank you for taking the alley-oop there, because that was my last point. Yeah. I'm also vice president of the Jamal Murray Haters fan club, so
sign me up for the Michael Porter Jr. fan club. As far as hating Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, see, I love it. See, the only player in the Nuggets I love Aaron Gordon, just because I love the way he plays ball. And Dreadlocks Aaron Gordon is just so much fun. But Denver, you'll get my respect back when you bring back the Melo era jerseys. I hate these navy and red joints. They're ugly. There's a reason you have
their original color scheme.
Yes, I hate the original color scheme. Literally in NBA. I remember NBA Live 2003. It was my first basketball game I bought. I bought it in 05 because I couldn't afford the one with I think it was Vince Carter was on the cover before, and then Melo was on 05. It was 04. I bought the one with J. Kidd on the cover, and I remember playing as the Nuggets, and I was like, what jerseys are these? This is abysmal. What is this navy and red and gold crap? This is gross. Because I listen, I love the Nuggets of the Melo and Iverson era. Even as a Timberwolves fan, I rooted for that team because I loved Melo, I loved AI, I loved the jersey color. I had a couple pairs of the Melo signature sneakers from that era, particularly the 3s and 1s were my favorites. But it's a cool color scheme. I wish they went back to it. It looks a lot more palatable to me. But then again, there's a lot of NBA jerseys that need to go back to their older looks. Minnesota, go back to the trees.
I like the green jerseys.
Jared, I have a stat for you that I think you'd enjoy.
Okay.
Would you like to guess the record of the Timberwolves in the last 36 games that Julius Randle has played? Playoffs included?
Isn't it? It's something so stupid. Isn't it like 26 and like 4 or something like that? It's something ridiculous.
They are 30-6 in the last 36 games with Julius Randle.
Whew.
Completely unreal.
You know what? And Matt and Nate are witness to this. I was so hyped when we traded for Julius Randle. I loved his fit here in Minnesota. I've been calling for this trade for 2 years. I was just a year early. I don't like Zesty Cat, at least in Minnesota. I love watching him from afar. I think he's a fun, entertaining player to watch on the court. I like Randall's mentality. He kind of brings back the old school kind of back to the basket. I love seeing the post moves, man. It brings me back to basketball when I was a kid. But he was unconscious last night. He's a great number 2 for Ant, especially when Ant's off, whether it's a game or a series, whatever, because he's basically a one light. It's perfect. I think he just brings a toughness to that team, and I love it. I definitely think Chris Finch enjoys having a guy who can go back to the basket and can pop threes. So
yeah, because they're 7-footer.
Julius Randle having the best playoffs of his career was like certainly not on my bingo card. Like, no way. But
also, shout out to Rudy Gobert for just being Rudy.
I wish Rudy Gobert would get fired. Just I don't care what
I'm
it's
sorry,
for.
he kind of helped us beat the Lakers.
If there's
in
any
Game
man
5.
in the world that needs to be canceled from the NBA, it's Rudy Gobert.
You see, you're Rudy
I
Gobert.
can think of a few other guys personally.
Okay. Let me just say that non-off the court issue reasons for canceling somebody.
No, he just hates Rudy Gobert. He just hates Rudy Gobert.
He's an advanced statistics merchant. That's the only reason he's won any awards, why he's gotten paid. It's such a joke to say that he's a dominant player when the only thing he is tall.
Rudy Gobert for sure.
I do too, and he's on my damn team. I call him the stinky
Rudy.
freshman.
Rudy, I will always defend Rudy as the best rim protector in the NBA, not named Wemby. And he was that, until just the entire league 2 years ago. I just don't get what year are we in? We're in year 13, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
How do you just lack so much touch around the rim? Just get one post move that you like. Just one. Hassan Whiteside was able to put a post move together.
Just get a little dream shake.
Luke Cornett can give me a post move.
I know.
This man got worse around the rim. That in his
insane.
career.
He did. He got absolutely worse. If he just had one go-to move,
I know he'd be so
I would deem the Timberwolves unbeatable.
I'd change my answer in a heartbeat if he had one go-to move.
He can't dribble.
I'm just happy he gets rebounds, and he occasionally has a putback dunk, and he caught like 3 alley-oops last night. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Blocks a shot, crosses a rebound, whatever. I don't care. Just
it was
Rudy
a mistake that he caught him.
We have the best off the bench big man for scoring in the league in Naz Reid. So I'm like, okay, like Duke can go off for 30. He's just one of those type of guys. I'm okay with it, but we got to move on because I know Antonio's time is precious here, and we've got to do our first Korner Booth Draft of the new year. Nathan, would you please step back up to the plate, please? Oh yeah, I have to add you. My bad.
Like I said, I feel useless as heck today. So
you can't click it to reach. Damn. All right, we got to figure this out for Monday's show. By the way, Monday, we're doing a whole UFL thing. Zach Heilman's coming back from the UFL pod, so we're gonna have our towards the end of the season check-in with him. He was really excited to come on the show. He sent me a 2-paragraph text message at 10:30 at night on Sunday about how hype he was to come on the show. Or not on Wednesday night, sorry. Anyway, so rules are simple for the KB draft. By the way, Korner Booth Draft is presented by Righteous Felon. Promo code BELLYUP15 BELLYUP for 15% off at checkout. It's some of the best meat snacks around. I personally, my favorite is the bourbon infused or the Maryland crab flavor, but I just tried the foul capone. It's the turkey jerky, which is like with like basil.
Fantastic.
It's sensational. It was the best snack between my doubleheader of baseball games on Sunday. I loved it. Go check them out right now, righteousfelon.com. Promo code BELLYUP for 15% off at checkout. All right. So rules are simple. We're going around the horn here. Nathan, if you could please get us some random number generator for who's going first. We're basically going to go snake draft here. So basically, whoever drafts first draft second. The rules are simple. Any NBA player of all time, we're drafting starting 5. So we know like the first round is basically be Mike, Larry, Kareem, LeBron, and maybe Kobe or Magic. So we all know that's going to be the first round. It just depends on who gets who. We wanted to be really vague for the first one before we get really specific.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are we literally just looking to build like the 5 best players possible, or like
5 best players? No, 5 position specific. So you can draft a shooting guard, or you can draft a power forward, but you gotta, or you can make it work. But it's gotta be starting.
Not that I would get both of these dudes on the same team. There's no way. But like I couldn't draft MJ and Kobe and just put one of them in the 3. It has to.
I mean, if you want to, I mean, you could try to work it as one could play small forward, but like, I think it loses.
I got an idea. Okay, I got an idea. We're good.
Yes, Kelsey.
I know.
Can we just call this 2 guards, a guard forward spot, a forward, and a forward center spot?
I'm okay with that.
That way you can have 3 guards, you can have 2 forwards if you want to go that route.
We're doing a college style. I like it.
Yeah, at this point in time, I think we have to.
Even though I think we got to show
today
up.
Is not a center in the back.
I know, but we're drafting as far back as I mean. I don't think anybody's going to draft George Mikan, but like
I don't think anybody's drafting Rui either. But Rui is technically a center at some point in times in this season.
Yeah.
Don't remind me, Kelsey. Don't remind me, man.
You're giving Nate PTSD right now by JJ Redick getting coached into a box by Chris Finch.
He shouldn't have even jumped against Gobert. I'm just saying, he should not have jumped. I don't know why we have no centers, man. If we don't get a center by this offseason, I'm gonna lose my mind. All right.
Nate's got first pick.
No, I do not. Order is asphalt. I can't move the. My God. Okay. All right. So I can't move the little squares around. So it's Matt, Kelsey, Antonio, myself, and then Jared. Yeah, the wheel.
Sorry.
I shared the wheel.
There you go.
It's okay.
What are we drafting first?
Whatever you want. Just you get to pick a player. You have to make a starting 5. So you got to remember in your head. If you take Jordan first, you got to remember to draft a center later.
Oh, all right. So I could go Jeremy Lin, but I think I'll wait. That was a joke. That was a big joke. I'm not really going Jeremy Lin. My boy Spike's in the chat. He'll think that's funny. I'm gonna go MJ here. I'm gonna go Michael Jordan for shooting guard.
Go, baby. All right, Kelsey, take it.
I'm gonna take Bron. I don't think I have a choice.
LeBron James. All right, Ant.
Yeah. You know, there are a lot of great centers, so I'm actually gonna pass on Kareem for now. Give me Kobe.
Ooh, okay. So we're going with my big 3 first. That's straight.
My first 3 are off the board. And then
my big board gone. All right, Nate, who are you taking it for?
Give me Shaq.
All right.
My first 4 are off the board. All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going with my 5th option here. Give me the greatest white boy of all time. Give me Larry Bird.
You have 2 picks, right?
Yep. And I'm going Magic Johnson back to back. I got my 3 and my 1 taken care of.
You're gonna hate each other.
Oh, that's okay. They're still gonna ball out. I don't give a crap.
At least if they're their playing age.
I'm gonna go Steph.
That would have been my pick if he was there. But you know what? I'll go. I'll go Tim Duncan.
Damn it. Nice, Timmy. Mr. Bank shot himself.
I guess in that case, I think I have to go Kareem. I don't think I have a choice in the matter.
Go with Skyhook, baby.
Can't believe he's even on the board on the way back.
Yeah, we're going Kareem.
Yeah, center is so deep. I think
it was a coin flip between Magic and Kareem for me. I was gonna take somebody from the Showtime. So Maddie, who you taking at your second pick?
I think I'm gonna go Wilt.
Did he score 100 points?
He's on my team. He did, yeah.
Yep.
I got my center. I got to go again. God, there's a lot of pressure.
Got MJ, got Wilt.
Got MJ, got Wilt. What am I gonna do? I think I'm gonna go.
Ron Baker would be huge here.
Ron Baker.
Robert Horry.
I'm gonna go power forward here. Sorry, Jared. I'm gonna go KG.
I hate you so much right now.
I'm cool with that.
I forgot Minnesota and Boston share that same love for Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, he's like basically a folk hero to all Timberwolves fans. We look at him like a saint. So we also want Glenn Taylor thrown into the St. Paul River like on a daily basis because he's the reason KG had to leave and hasn't really come back.
All right, I'm gonna take probably the spiciest choice so far. This one's definitely probably a reach. I'm not gonna do it. Never mind. I'm gonna hold off on that one. That was a close one. I almost really blew that one. All right, we'll take AI. Still probably a reach, but I'm not going to see him coming back my way.
Yeah, probably because I was going to take him for my 2 guard.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna secure up the front court. I'm gonna take Hakeem.
Nice.
That's a smart choice. I couldn't put Kareem and Hakeem together. I feel like that's too many Eames and two really big players. Along with LeBron.
Give me Giannis.
Nobody's taking the most dominant big man of all time, right?
Who's that?
Shaq, isn't it?
Yeah, nobody's taking Shaq, right?
No, Shaq's gone.
Nate took him.
Yes,
Oh, Nate took Shaq. Okay, so center's gone or who?
Kareem, Shaq, Hakeem.
Okay,
Wilt.
Okay.
Technically speaking, Tim Duncan, even though he's not a center.
Yeah, true. Trying to think who's another great center I could get rid of right now.
KG's gone.
Don't mind me. You need Moses Malone.
Ooh.
Not the worst pick in the world, honestly.
No.
All right, and then
How about
for
Moses?
a shooting guard, give me Dwayne Wade.
Holy crap. Why am I losing it? Fudge. I can't think of my brain is not working today. I'm trying to think of a player. Imagine if we said Lonzo, that'd be funny, huh?
My brain would restart. Like you'd see me like.
I got a soundboard that I'm ready to use if you do.
Would you do like a Windows sound when my brain shuts off?
It would have. Hey, well, I'm just saying it would have worked. Vince, I'm gonna go. Did anyone say Vince Carter yet?
Nope.
No.
All right, I'm gonna go with him. Yeah.
All right. Gonna fill out my 3 spot. I'm taking Kevin Durant.
Damn.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I know he's not gonna be back my way, but I was like holding out hope.
Yeah, but
All right.
he's on the board still.
I'm going with the best ISO shooter in the world, and that's Melo, the real Melo.
Damn it! Watch my big board dissipate.
I'm gonna go small forward here. I'm gonna pair MJ up with Scottie Pippen. And then I got another pick. I'm gonna go to my point guard spot. I'm gonna take Stockton.
That was my backup choice here at point guard in case you decided to take my point guard.
So your 2 picks were what? Matt, there was
Stockton and Pippen.
Okay.
All right, here was my reach from earlier. Old Pistol Pete. I have too many ball handlers.
I'm gonna take what I think personally is the most underrated all-time great. I'll take Oscar Robertson.
Ooh, the walking triple double.
There you go.
Give me Kawhi.
All right, I need a 4. I'm just gonna do an all Caucasian forwards. Give me Dirk Nowitzki. I can't take myself to pick the mailman, so we're going with Dirk.
Good pick.
Yeah, there's no crimes allowed.
Yeah, less bodies that way.
Yep,
and other things.
My backup was Barkley, but I'm like, dude, the barrage of shooting from Bird and Dirk, I'd be happy with that. Moses Malone inside, D Wade slashing, Magic creating.
I have 3 ball handlers and then a guy that holds the ball too much, and then Kareem. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing right now, guys, but LeBron,
awesome.
you run point.
All right, we're gonna be. By the way, folks, we're gonna be doing these every week up until the NFL season, which college football season, which begins, I believe, Labor Day weekend, the week before. Week 0 is the week before. But yeah, so we're gonna have ones every week. Nate was helpful enough to come up with this one this week. Last year we did a fast food draft, which Kelsey and DJ and myself and the boys, we had a great time on that one.
That was fantastic.
We spent more time arguing if these chains were.
Kelsey started bringing up chains that literally were regionalized to the deep south.
I wasn't the first one. Hold on, I wasn't the first one.
He brought up like Smokey Joe's or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, they brought up like some taco place from like California I never heard of before.
Yeah.
No, I was the one that brought up the taco place. I brought up Jim Boy's Tacos.
Well, if Wawa and Sheets are on the table.
Well, no, because Chris brought up Wawa because Chris represented Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, Wiener Schnitzel got thrown out there, or not Wiener Schnitzel. Not Steak and Shake. What's the one in California? The burger
Shake and
place.
Bake.
In-N-Out.
Yep, In-N-Out. That was one Nate brought up. And I was like, is that regional or is that national?
I mean, it's nationally known.
Did you say Wiener Schnitzel and then you meant In-N-Out?
Well, I mean, then again, I brought
Wiener Schnitzel's internationally known. So
I brought up Whataburger, so I mean, like that's Texas and Louisiana, so
the Southeast.
Yeah. All right. But hey, listen, I know you got to go, Antonio. Appreciate you coming on, my friend. You can check Antonio out at all the places he's going to bring up right now. Antonio, where can we find your amazing content?
Yeah, Sideline Summit on everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can find us just simply at Sideline Summit or Sideline Summit Pod. But either way, you'll be able to find it.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on. Good luck to your Celtics for the rest of the series, and go Birds.
Moderate good luck.
Appreciate y'all having me. Have a good one.
Now I can say what I wanted to say. Go Knicks.
Yes.
No, I love Antonio, man. You see, those guys are hella cool, but I know Matt was like, well, me earlier. And I was like, you know what? I didn't give love to the Knicks.
I understand why you don't like the Celtics because of obviously the Lakers and Celtics.
No, I don't hate any team. I don't give a fudge about what happens in these playoffs. Because my team got whooped because we didn't have a damn center and we faced you guys, and I really don't give a fudge.
Who has 3 centers?
I wish the Celtics to have the same amount of luck that anybody has if they were to buy a diet ginger ale. There's no luck in that. That is probably one of the worst diet drinks you can get is a diet ginger ale.
Oh yeah. No, worst diet.
Diet Sprite's pretty bad too.
Diet Sprite is pretty bad.
Diet. Okay, are we Diet Sprite or zero sugar Sprite? Which one are we?
Diet Sprite tastes awful. Zero sugar Sprite's pretty good.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yeah, zero sugar is pretty good.
Zero
sugar Baja Blast is the grossest thing in the world if you've never had it.
Oh, you just hurt me in the heart right that well.
You know what? This is very random, but I think one of the best diet sodas I've had because it kind of tastes very similar to the actual product is a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that disgusting diet taste to it.
Worst diet soda, and I don't know how it's a New York thing, but I can't drink Diet Coke. It's disgusting. I can't do it.
It's okay,
I know Diet Coke is never a bad one for me. Diet Pepsi.
I can't do it. I mean, then again, I'm not really a soda guy anyway. Like the only soda I really drink is Baja Blast, and I drink usually the zero sugar one because I haven't been in shape enough not to feel bad about drinking a soda.
Here's the thing, man. The when you get it to Taco Bell where you're supposed to get the zero sugar Baja Blast, it's disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, the one
can. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, the zero sugar Baja Blast in a can or a bottle tastes incredible. When you buy it at Taco Bell, it is disgusting. That's why I never buy drinks at Taco Bell. I usually have my water on me.
Yeah, the Taco Bell is the place where drinks go to die.
Well, I mean, listen, I had a mixture before I hopped on. It was creatine, a Spindrift, pineapple water, and grape juice. That was what I drank before I on air, and now I'm having whiskey. So.
I thought you were gonna say something about creatine and some sort of sugar-free soda mix, and it was gonna be different, but I was gonna hear you out.
Well, listen. So I had a trainer talk me into basically buying some creatine today, and I did some research myself. Obviously, I was kind of on the fence about it. I'm cheap, but I'm having issues recovering from injuries and recovering from workouts, and creatine's great for that. And especially as a man who's 30 years old and works out 4 times a day, plays baseball, 2 games on Sundays, and practices twice a week. I am always moving. So, yeah, I'm a little beat up. So it kind of makes sense for me to try using creatine. So
Just increase your protein intake
Have
instead.
y'all seen that video?
well, I'm doing that anyway. But
And
yeah,
collagen. But
well, collagen comes with the proteins. But yeah,
Have you seen the video where the guy was like, to make the protein shake, he's like, all right, first you gotta add some protein, then you cut a banana, then add some more protein, and then you add some more protein, then you add more protein. I don't know if y'all seen that. No.
No, but I don't think that man has taken a bowel movement in days.
I'll send it.
that's
to you.
actually not completely true. It depends on the person. But
I don't want to find out one way or the other. Let's put it that way.
How often do you guys use the restaurant? Okay, no. Anyways, move on.
yeah,
Jared.
let's not let's not just have the show completely off the rails. All right,
We don't need to do that 5-a-side draft.
yeah. Nobody wants to do that. All right, but it's time for the UFL 4-pack presented by Candidates. I'm drinking whiskey tonight, so click. We've got your boy in the lead. I got a 2-game lead over Maddie. Nate's coming up in third. Kelsey, I think, is still the highest shooting guest host, but still the best upset pick of the week was McCarthy picking the Brahmas to get their first win 3 weeks ago. That was hilarious. Speaking of those Brahmas, fellas, we're going to do a quick pick here. Things you'd rather do. Everyone's got 2 answers. Things you'd rather do than watch the Showboats and the Brahmas. Kelsey, I'll allow you to go first.
Have a coronary.
Damn it. All right. I was gonna say colonoscopy. Matt.
That was my second one.
Oh man, go run a marathon with no headphones.
Oh, that's hell.
Have you seen the guy who ran a marathon in ski boots, by the way? That sounds awful too.
That is a psycho.
I don't know if I'm. Yeah, I don't know if I'm impressed or I don't know what I am.
Yeah, I got you. All right, Nate. Well, a thing you'd rather do than watch Showboats and Brahmas.
Getting buried alive.
Jeez.
Wow, you went dark. See,
By the way,
McCarthy.
it's mental health awareness month. If you do need to call somebody, 988 is the crisis line.
I thought, no, June is men's mental health awareness month. Anyway,
yeah, so tough it out 2 more weeks.
Yeah, McCarthy.
No, it's all everybody's mental health month this month.
Yeah, this is everybody's. This is everyone's. Next month is
September is Suicide Prevention Month. Call 988 if you need help, or if you know somebody in emergency, in a crisis.
Amen to that.
McCarthy, last time we did this, hit a Mickey Mantle tape measure home run moonshot because he ended it with, and the last thing I'd rather do than watch Panthers versus Bears, going to date with Kevin's mom. And we all just lost it. We were losing. It was right at the end of the show. And it was a home run. McCarthy's comedic timing there was on point. But I would rather eat a bucket of fried chicken while getting yelled at by David Goggins.
Jeez. All right.
Anything with David Goggins sounds awful.
I mean, I do listen to his motivation stuff before gym sessions sometimes, but that's kind of how it gets my motor going for working out. But that's more of a me psychological thing. Nate, one more answer. What would you rather do besides watch Showboats Brahmas?
Ooh. I would watch the video that Matt almost recommended me last week.
No, Nathan, no, stop it. We're not doing this again. No, Nate, stop.
That's all I'm going to say.
Somebody message Kelsey offline what video we're talking about.
I'll put in the private chat.
Oh, God. We're going to need the private chat blocked. All right, Matt, one more answer. What was one thing you'd rather do than watch Showboats Brahmas?
Probably just endure the same pain with Nate and just walk him through and just tell him everything's gonna be okay.
Every little thing is
gonna
be all right.
Yep.
It's in the private chat. It's in the private chat.
Yep, that's what I thought it was.
Yes, sir.
I don't remember how we got on that topic. But
We were recommending movies for Nate because him and Brian have the new series on 3rd and 10.
By the way, I'm super disappointed in you, Nate, that there was a lot of those movies that you hadn't seen before.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
sorry,
I'm a little disturbed too, buddy. We're gonna help you. Just like we corrupted you a little bit, made you dark side, Nate. We're also gonna make you watch more movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
After
By
the
the way, I'm
summertime
glad
is
Dark Side Nate's gone and we're back to Light Side Nate.
Eh,
Light Side Nate's fantastic.
we love him both. No, now he's more like intermediate.
He's Mace
when
Windu.
He
He's
goes
Mace
back
Windu.
and forth. Yeah, Mace. That's perfect. Yeah, he went full Kylo Ren for about 3 weeks during the NFL season.
Oh, yeah. Watch once. Oh, week 1 through 8. That he might come back.
He's gonna. I might be there with you because I want to read
Hey,
subs.
let's go, Matt.
Dark Side Nate only comes out when the Giants are getting smoked.
Oh man.
Oh, all right. So we got to pick this game. But Kelsey, one last time, what is one more thing you'd rather do? Want to show us, Brahmas?
This one's probably gonna get us canceled. Go on a date with Caitlyn Jenner.
Ooh, had to realize. You know they
No. I know it's why, because her political affiliations. That would be why you wouldn't want to do it. See, I just saved your ass. All right, so we're gonna pick this.
I was gonna
now.
say it's because I don't trust that was an actual decathlete, but all right,
even better. All right, show us, Browns. We got to pick this game. I hate this so much because these teams are the same damn team. They're the same damn team. They have one lucky win. They've had a couple nail biters, but they're still a meme squad. Give me the Showboats on the road.
Well, I got to catch up on some ground. This is pretty much just a pick 'em kind of game. This is gonna just bite me, but I'm gonna take the Brahmas here.
Brahmas.
I like when you do that.
We only say it because Nate, that's how you spelled it the first week we did this.
And then also King of the Hill. He's like, Baja Blast.
Oh, I love that drink, by the way. Not to go too off topic.
I don't think you can hate Baja Blast.
Nah, people are
my heart hates Baja Blast.
But your soul, but your mind.
My kidneys hate Baja Blast.
It won't be around too much longer if I keep drinking Baja Blast.
Stop drinking soda. All right, Nate, what do you got?
Give me the Showboats. I think it does go over 36.5, by the way. The over under. I think both offenses will actually do good.
I'm taking the under here because I think this final score of this game is gonna be like 9-6. This game is gonna be so bad.
You think the stands are gonna be full? Or
no.
Full?
No.
Dude, the only game that's actually come close to even like remotely close to selling out this year was DC versus St. Louis in St. Louis. That was, I think, 2/3 capacity.
It was.
They're getting better though. They're getting better though. Like a lot. Like I know St. Louis is selling out more. I know the Defenders are getting more. Certain teams are getting more looks. But Kelsey got in the meme bowl.
The referees, not the coaching staff to be around next year. Let's go with the Brahmas.
All right, we got a 50-50 split here. All right, we're moving on. Stallions Battlehawks, the Kelsey Jared Bowl in St. Louis. Kelsey, your boys gave me a little heart attack last week. My perfect week almost went out the window with you boys.
Yeah, they might be a heart attack, but they're still the 3-time champions.
The Cardiac Stallions versus the Cardiac Battlehawks. This is the battle of the team. How did you win? I don't know. Okay.
We're just better. Yay. We have better coaches. Yay. That's how both teams win.
Mm-hmm. There's no contest here. Give me the Hawks, baby. Here we go. Let's go. Yeah, we on it.
You get my pick out of here too, Stallions.
Yeah, we knew how that was splitting. Maddie, I'm assuming you're going with the Stallions here because you need to make up ground.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to take the Stallions and take that hot streak they got going on.
All right, Nate.
Give me the big old Battlecocks.
Okay.
Let's go. Sorry.
We already picked the Brahmas. What are you talking about?
Go Cox.
Yeah. Love cock. Okay.
Oh, you got you.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for picking college football this year. And we have Chris back on the show just for me to yell that every time we have to pick South Carolina.
Hey,
Chris will never come back on the show if you do that.
He literally was like, I can't wait to start picking games again. I'm like,
remember,
right,
he's trying to turn over a new leaf and have a better image.
I just had a 45-minute phone call with him on Tuesday. He's still the same.
I love that guy.
He's just a more professional version of the same person. All right.
So good luck.
Yeah. Right. Hey, listen, I'm proud of him. He's making big strides. All right. Speaking of making big strides, Perkins and the Panthers, almost 7-point road favorites against the Roughnecks. Yeah, I'm going with our boy Zach Kyleman's team right here. Since Perkins took over as the starting quarterback, they're just a better team. Yeah, Roughnecks. Listen, the Roughnecks were fun last week. They play scrappy. They're a scrappy, nasty team, but they can't close games out. They're going to be a good team next year, I hope, if they retain most of their roster. But they just need a little help. Yeah, give me the Panthers here. Kelsey, you taking the Panthers as well?
Yeah. UVA alum Bryce Perkins. I called him out last time I was on doing this pick. Yeah, still the best quarterback in Detroit, and it's not even close.
Ooh, taking shots at Mr. Goff. All right.
No, they're not playing right now, so it didn't take shots at anybody yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sticking with you guys. I'm taking the Panthers over the Roughnecks. Fun little team, but I'm going with Michigan here.
Yeah. Nate.
Roar.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that is because I don't know what a roughneck is.
Because a roughneck or Panthers. All right.
A roughneck could be Nate doing that and just has a little bit of a sunburn.
Yeah, trying to hit the oil pipeline. Roar. Kels, who was the starting quarterback to open the season for the Panthers?
Ask me that question.
Was it Etling?
It was Danny Etling.
I think it was Danny Etling.
Hey, say it, Matt. Go Tigers.
What? One time New England Patriot preseason fan favorite, Danny Etling. All right, Sunday afternoon game. See, Nate hasn't committed to a team yet, so I can't call this the Nate Matt Bowl because Nate still is Nate's doing his best Kelsey impression, but he's doing it mid-season.
Indeed.
So, all right, I'm gonna go with the Defenders here. It just the last 3 games, the Renegades have looked like poop. That's the best way I can put it. They literally their execution has been terrible. The defense has been kind of lackluster, and as much as he tries, Jordan Teamu can't lose them the game as much as he wants to. So, yeah, give me the Defenders here. They got too good of a roster.
Yeah, I ain't going against my Defenders, so I'm going to take my own team here. You said Defenders, though, Jared?
I said Defenders.
All right, I got to keep track of this.
I will proudly go against my team, I guess. I'm going Defenders, too. Shoot.
Clean
future, proudly going against their team.
Well, that's
disappointing.
He was a Brahmas fan to start the season, and he left that one in the dust.
Hey, they scored 3 points. I said nope. All right, moving on.
Nate's I need to be happy about some football team.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you're the one who chose Cal, okay? That's not on me.
Hey, that's not good. Cal's good.
They lost their only running back to Oklahoma.
We lost all 4 of our running backs.
That's terrifying.
I know.
They hurt. By the way, I'm going against everybody, and I'm going to pick Luis Perez, spring football legend, and that Renegades.
Matt does this every week. Luis Perez has shot Matt in the foot in 3 straight weeks.
Yeah, but Matt didn't pick the Renegades this time.
Wasn't that a dance?
The Renegade?
Yeah.
That's what made what's her name famous.
Yeah.
No, the other one.
D'Amelio girl, right?
Oh, Addison.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. They've been quite
Nate, who'd you pick, Nate?
Defenders, because they're gonna defend their home field.
Beer Snakes, baby.
Go Snakes. See,
go Snakes, baby. Go Snakes.
I also can't pick against Auburn.
Giants, baby.
I can't pick against Auburn legend Sal Cannella. And by legend, I don't really actually mean a legend, but he just had very legendary moments.
He was just
single-handedly beat
Auburn fan favorite.
Yeah, he single-handedly beat Justin Herbert in the first game when Bo Nix and Auburn played Justin Herbert.
Damn, he played. We're going back in the box a little bit.
And just a reminder for everybody, the standings go as follows. In first place, Jared, 21-7. Second place, Matt, 19-9. And third place, Nate, 18-10.
At least my record is better than the Giants' record the past 2 seasons combined.
That's 5 seasons.
Nice, Kel. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. Salute.
Sorry, Nate.
I'm a sad fan.
It's okay, buddy. We still love you.
I know. That's the only thing I got. Really, though? Kansas City on Sunday night? Are you freaking kidding me? Man.
Both of our night games are away.
7 playoff teams in a row. The Eagles are going to walk in their bye and be like, oh, we made it. Damn it.
No, you get a break. You play the Cowboys early on.
Yeah, we do. We get a tune-up game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to the Jets-Cowboys
you know what the
game.
problem is? They're going to give us – it's going to be like the Packers.
Matt.
They're going to give us a fight.
I'll be there October 5th. I'm going to be there, New Jersey. 1 p.m. Tell your friends.
I got you. Don't beat up any
Tailgate.
kids now.
Tailgate from MetLife.
Well, you
I
said
told
Jets.
Chris
and
I'd come down to see a game with him this year. I have to keep that promise.
I might go to Giants Vegas.
Ooh,
Or actually, my friend, my best friend, he's a Titans fan. It's a possibility in December we're gonna go see your boy Cam Ward against SF.
I am very. I'm already like putting money in for Cam Ward, Rookie of the Year. I'm doing it.
Nate, how far are you from Vegas?
It's
5
a bit
hours?
of a drive, my friend.
Aren't you like 6-7 hours?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, because I was gonna say you're like 5.5 hours north of LA, and it's like 3 hours across. So
Yeah, about 7 hours or so.
yeah, I go through what, like Fresno and all that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I vaguely know my California directional stuff.
Did you see the 3 lowest travel distances this year for the NFL?
Yeah.
What was it?
I think Bengals are either first.
Bengals are the least amount of miles having to travel, followed by Buffalo, Baltimore, and then Detroit.
Who's first again? I saw the other thing.
It's the
Chargers
Vikings.
and Rams are both number 1 and 2. Seattle's number 3. Jacksonville, because of their yearly trip to Europe, is
Don't the
number 4.
Vikings have back-to-back weeks in London and in Dublin?
But they don't travel back and forth. They just travel over.
They're just gonna stay there. Okay, so
they're middle of the pack. They got 19,000 miles, whereas like top 4 are over 30,000.
Is Philly closer to the top or bottom?
Philly is 10th from the bottom.
Okay,
They got 15K. But the AFC North is ridiculous. They're all right here in the bottom 10, with the exception of Pittsburgh.
Jesus.
I don't even know where Pittsburgh is on this list. Nope. They're all in the bottom 10.
They're already saying, the schedule guys made the Jets and Steelers week 1 because it's going to be a Rodgers Fields revenge game matchup. And I'm like, all right, true. But technically, he's not even the quarterback.
You also see the same sign that kid who got banned from the NCAA for betting.
I didn't see that.
He was okay. So am I the one who's like, okay, this dude was kind of nasty before he got banned?
Was it the Iowa State kid?
Yeah, Decker. They signed Decker.
Oh yeah. The
ban for
kid.
Sports betting. Nice,
dude. He was disgusting before he got banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11-2 record.
Okay. He was part of that Iowa State one where they didn't set the rules properly. They didn't tell, like, Iowa and Iowa State allowed the rules to be broken based off their regulations.
Yeah, I think I was part
there
of
were
the
like 35, 36 players or something that were banned.
Yeah.
Some stupid number. There were some good kids that were banned.
I know. Did any of them get back in, or they're all gone?
I think a couple of them. I think the quarterback that just left Iowa State was one of them. And there were a couple offensive linemen and defensive players. I
think this is the reason why he got thrown through the ringer, had to go JUCO, is because he bet on his own team.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. If he was the ringleader or something, that was probably also part of it.
By the way, congrats to Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson's families. They're getting their guys. They're no longer banned from baseball. I love it.
Yeah, Shoeless Joe has been dead for.
I remember when I was a kid, I watched 8 Men Out, and there was like a whole thing about you could write to the MLB commissioner's office. I did that when I was like 8 years old.
Wait, but why wait till they're dead? Like, shouldn't they like?
Because they served their life ban.
Yeah.
Yeah, which Shoeless Joe.
That's messed up. No.
He served it for probably 60 years.
That's mean, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, your life's over.
Now, all right, Rob Manfred, you're improving your brand. Now allow the steroid guys, minus Rafi Palmeiro because he committed perjury, to get into the actual Hall of Fame, because they are a reason why baseball is still here and still popular. Because the 90s and Jeff Kemp. Because Jeff Kemp
Alex Rodriguez.
Hey,
he's a rat.
Leave A right out of this.
Listen,
he's a rat.
We don't.
He is the reason that everybody got busted. We all know this, right?
Isn't it funny that he ratted on an Italian? He went reverse psychology. He ratted on Francisco Cervelli.
Oh, that's right.
Or we're not ratted. He blamed.
Cervelli
or he used
should have
him
been
as
so
a
much
scapegoat.
better for how much steroids the guy took.
He was trying to just get over these concussions, man.
Yeah,
that dude
also
was a
Romine.
walking concussion.
Romine was the better.
Thad Castle, you can't say the C word.
I'm saying the Z word. I'm screaming
Bro,
from the rooftop.
I forgot. Like, I haven't taken creatine since high school. I've had 3 foot cramps since I finished it. I've been just down in water.
And don't take too much of
okay.
it because you want.
So-
Oh no, I only take the 5 milligram packets. I don't do anything crazy.
2 days.
So I want to cap this Hunter Deckers thing off too for a second.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. Actually, I just wrote up on this. So the dude placed 366 bets on DraftKings on an account belonging to his mother over the course of 3 years, which is like, for us, that's like probably a year worth of betting. But he only made 1 bet on an Iowa State game.
Well, that's the only one that counted.
And he won $15 for picking them to win. He didn't play, but he was on the dress roster. And that's why he lost his eligibility for the remaining part of his career.
Technicalities are a bitch.
Wait, he placed 1 bet on Iowa State or on
One Iowa State
It was
bet.
it's the same thing as like when Calvin Ridley bet on the Falcons while he was injured.
Oh, I think he placed bets on 26 school events, but 1 football game.
Yeah, 1 football game in which he was a part of because he was a dressed athlete.
Like, that's where most of the guys were able to come back, but he wasn't because he was a dressed athlete involved in that game. Like, he could have gone in and made it even worse. So,
who's that?
But then again, there were some of those dudes that were literally making bets in the facility, which was part of the problem too.
Yeah,
that's the party's an underdog. Yeah, I would have banned those guys. I'm kidding now. But... What's that one NBA guy? The one that Jonte Porter.
Jonte Porter.
Come on, man. Shoot, this
dude. The way, you know what's so funny? Like, NBA commentators are I forgot how much I love how dramatic NBA commentators are about everything. Like yes, we all think Malika Andrews is fine, but dude, she's ridiculous. So is Brian Windhorst. So is Jay Williams. They're all nuts. They make a mountain out of a molehill. And my favorite was when Jonte Porter got banned. Was it last year? Right? He got banned.
Yes.
Dude, they were acting like he committed acts of treason against the country. I was laughing.
Why? Oh, hold on. No, I'm with them though. Why is this man who is making $50 million a year, not including endorsements, betting?
Oh, no. The logic behind it, I get why they're annoyed. But they were on TV acting like this guy tried to shoot the president. I was like, what the hell?
Okay, so we also got to remember, it's different for them versus us. They have the connections with these guys on a person-to-person basis.
Okay.
So they know, like, so that's part of it is like, yeah, especially Brian, Malika as well. They both have that relation. Like, they actually have a personal relationship with them. Whereas, like, we're like looking at it from a relatively fan perspective, you know? So there is that difference. That does suck too, because that's a dude they know.
Yeah. One thing about the NBA though, before we go, and Kelsey, I did not get to listen to y'all's show last night. I was out and about. I was running around doing stuff, and I was watching the Knicks Celtics game when I got back.
I'm hurt.
Did you and DJ touch at all about the whole rumors that the NBA draft lottery is rigged? How do you?
Oh yeah.
How did you guys lean on this? I know I'm going to watch the show, obviously. So I'm going to listen to the show tomorrow while I'm driving to the gym. But like, why would you guys lean on this?
You guys tune into Belly Up Sports tonight.
Oh,
at
you
8,
struck.
or at 10 p.m. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
No, you know, I'll talk about it because I think it is very interesting. The fact we're pretending that the league in which Magic and Bird ended up on the Celtics and Lakers, and MJ ended up on the Bulls, which was not a relatively unknown franchise. They were a well-known franchise.
Big market.
How Shaq was conveniently traded to the Lakers. How
was there something about a missed phone call? That's why he went to the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. And how Kareem is conveniently ends up in the Lakers. Okay, let's just think about that for a second and wonder, does this really seem that outlandish that they're like, you know what? You traded a big name. We're going to get you a big guy back because Dallas is a huge market. And
5th largest market in the country.
Yeah, and you can't have that market empty from a superstar. Every time we've ever talked about basketball in our lifetime, there has been a big name in Dallas.
Dirk, Luka, now Cooper Flag,
Jason Kidd.
Oh, we're going back there. Yeah, Steve Nash for a little bit. Mike Finley was nasty.
Yeah, ever since Mark Cuban took over, there has been a big name in Dallas.
Dorian Finney-Smith.
So, yep, look, you're not seeing Sacramento get a number 1 overall pick. You're seeing Sacramento, who has a 2-pick chance of losing their pick, get the 13th pick, so they no longer have a first-round pick.
I'll say this. I'm a Timberwolves fan. We're too big of a market to be as bad as we were for that long. I guarantee
you're a bottom 20 market, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. Well, not as much anymore, but we were when we got those picks.
No.
So
You're still like as far as TV DMAs go.
The thing is, like the Timberwolves fan base is kind of like similar like the Pacers, where it's got like it's a smaller market than like the LA's, the New York's, whatever. But they sell out the Target Center almost every night. It's not like it's the fan base in Minnesota.
Sacramento does the same thing.
I know. That's why I was going to say it's like it's NBA's weird.
Yeah, Milwaukee falls into that category too.
I know. This is what's crazy to me. And the thing is, I honestly, when the Wizards are good, it's a fun team. I remember the Gilbert Arenas Wizards were like a load of fun.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched the new Netflix documentary with Gilbert about the gun,
I was going to bring that up. I want to watch
it. I love that one.
God. You guys need to go watch that.
I almost tried to pick up the Gil Zero. Dude, when the Gil Zero retros dropped, I tried to pick up a pair of the Wizards PEs, the blue, the gold, and the white. I wanted a pair so bad. They sold out in 15 minutes.
I had the originals. I didn't need a repeat.
Oh, see, no, the only Adidas retros I picked up so far, I picked up the T-Mac 3 Orlando Homes because I had a pair of those when I was a kid, and T-Mac to me is like.
But yeah, no, long story short, the whole thing with the draft, look, man, it's whether it's conscious or subconscious, nobody wants the big markets to fail.
Yeah, no, it's
big
business.
markets. Big markets are millions and millions of dollars, if not billions.
It brings me to my next point. I don't know if I lose a little respect. I lose a little bit when like creators rush to the defense of the NBA saying, if you think it's rigged, you're not watching basketball. It's like, dude, come on. Like how much
they get paid a lot of money to do
I was like, one of these creators I know on a first name basis, he did tick me off today, but he made a whole video about this. And I literally looked at him. I'm like, man, no, dude. Now, after the study pulled today, I'm kind of like, whatever.
NBA Creator Hub. If you haven't looked it up and you're a content creator that makes NBA content, you need to look it up.
I thought it was a rumor when we first started Belly Up, and then I looked it up what it was. Oh no, I heard about it later. The NFL,
they put more money behind it. The NFL is starting theirs this year.
Okay.
And MLB had one, and that was in-house in New York. Now they got rid of it. Now it's coming back again in a.
But it's going to be a universal one that goes all over. Okay.
Remote setting. Right. So you can get paid a lot of money if you say the right things and follow the right things and get a lot of spread.
All right, so Nate, we're going to kiss the butt of Manfred and Goodell for the next 6 months and try to get ourselves paid.
Don't bring me on the show.
The Giants are going to finish 17-0. Here's why.
First person. Well, actually, they might bring me back because the first person I'm going to trash is Jerry Jones, so they might keep me.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Kelsey and DJ every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, High-Low Sports. Check them out on all social media things. They just dropped an episode last night. I will be listening to it tomorrow. You should as well. We'll be back Monday. We got Zach Kallman coming on. We're going to talk all UFL football as well as we're trying to cover this weekend in basketball, setting up the new matchups, obviously, for the Eastern and West Conference Finals. And, of course, we'll probably just do some more shenanigans. That being said, we hope you have an amazing weekend. Enjoy yourselves. And, we'll talk Monday. Peace.